Apple has updated the Apple Watch Ultra 3 times now, and yet, if you put all of them side by side, most people probably couldn't tell the difference. But that might finally be changing. Because according to the latest leaks, the Apple Watch Ultra 4 could be getting its biggest upgrade ever. Not just a new look, but potentially one of the most important health features Apple has ever put inside a smartwatch. And if Apple pulls this off, it could genuinely change how millions of people keep track of their health every day. Now let's start with the redesign. The Ultra lineup has always been built around the same rugged formula. It's durable, it's recognizable, and it's become Apple's go-to smartwatch for people who want the biggest battery and the toughest build. But after years of small updates, reports suggest Apple is finally working on a major refresh. We haven't seen any leaked renders yet, but there are a few obvious areas Apple could improve. The first is thickness. The Ultra is a fantastic smartwatch, but compared to the regular Apple Watch, it's noticeably bulkier. That's the trade-off for battery life and durability, but if Apple can slim it down even slightly without sacrificing either of those things, it would make a huge difference in daily use. I'd also love to see thinner bezels. Apple has already reduced them before, but more screen space is always welcome, especially on a device where information density matters. And maybe, just maybe, we get another customizable action button. One for workouts, one for shortcuts. Simple, but incredibly useful. But the most interesting part of this redesign may not be what you see. It could be what's happening underneath. Reports suggest Apple is preparing a completely redesigned sensor system on the back of the watch, featuring a new circular sensor layout. And these upgraded sensors could unlock something users have been waiting years for: advanced blood pressure monitoring. Right now, smartwatches can warn you about potential issues, but they don't really replace dedicated blood pressure equipment. The dream is a watch that can give you meaningful blood pressure data directly from your wrist without needing extra hardware. Apple has reportedly been working on this technology for years, and if the Ultra 4 becomes the first Apple Watch to bring a more advanced version of it, that would instantly become one of its biggest selling points. Because unlike a brighter display or a faster processor, this is the kind of feature that could actually impact people's lives. Now here's the feature I was genuinely excited about until the latest reports arrived: Touch ID. Last year, reports suggested Apple was experimenting with Touch ID built directly into the digital crown. Imagine putting on your watch and unlocking it instantly with your fingerprint. Faster logins, more secure Apple Pay transactions, and a much smoother overall experience. It sounded brilliant. Unfortunately, it now looks like Apple may have abandoned the idea altogether. And honestly, I can understand why. Adding fingerprint hardware to something as compact as a smartwatch isn't easy. It increases complexity, takes up internal space, and could even affect battery capacity. And if I had to choose between Touch ID and longer battery life, I'd take the bigger battery every single time. While the Ultra 4 appears to be getting most of the attention this year, the regular Apple Watch may not be so lucky. Current reports suggest Apple isn't planning a major redesign for the standard models anytime soon. In fact, bigger visual changes could still be years away. Instead, most of the focus seems to be shifting towards software. watchOS 27 is expected to follow a similar strategy to Apple's upcoming software updates across the board. Fewer flashy features, and more attention on stability, performance, and refinement. That might not sound exciting, but after years of feature-packed updates, a smoother and more reliable experience is probably what many users actually want. There are also rumors of improved heart rate tracking and expanded satellite capabilities. The Ultra already supports satellite-based emergency features, but future upgrades could make those tools more useful in everyday situations, especially for hikers, travelers, and people who regularly venture off-grid. As for when we'll see all of this, the timing points toward Apple's September event. That's where the Ultra 4 is expected to make its debut alongside the next generation of iPhones. And if these leaks turn out to be accurate, this won't just be another yearly refresh. Since the original Ultra launched, most upgrades have focused on refining what was already there. Better chips, smaller bezels, faster charging. The Ultra 4 feels different. A new design, upgraded health tracking, smarter software, and potentially breakthrough sensor technology could make this the first Ultra in years that feels genuinely new. So if you've been waiting for a reason to upgrade your Apple Watch, this might finally be the one worth waiting for.